feels
So in this second talk of our four-part series, we are exploring the New Thought, Science of Mind teachings that are found in the beautiful movie, The Wizard of Oz. And today we're going to explore two of the classic characters Dorothy encountered over there, over the rainbow in the land of Oz. The Scarecrow and the Tinman. They both felt that they were lacking in something. If only I had a brain, a heart. If only, and you can fill in the blank maybe for your own life. If only when I reach this certain time in my life, this will happen. We have all of these if onlys. So a lot of us from early on in life are told that we aren't enough or we don't have enough. It seems to be the biggest belief that most of us need to move beyond because we are so more than enough. Race consciousness, mass advertisement, society itself, religions, they teach us to focus on what we don't have instead of what we have. Ever going to Sunday services and told that you were a sinner and you'll never be good enough for God? I mean, right there in religion, that can be devastating to a little child. It's programming. Well, we're here to unprogram all of that crap and step into the greatness that we truly are. More importantly, we're focusing on who and what we are. So we begin to think and feel, if I only had, and then something more. Something more. We're going to move into that whole state of claiming who we truly are. We come to believe sometimes that there is more power in circumstances than in the power of God at work, which is always. Remember, this is a field of infinite potentiality, and it's always there, and we're part of it. We are it. It is who we are. Our lives, no matter whatever you still think you need in life, or something that you think has more power than the divine, stop and think about this one. It's what we need. We need to believe that we are so much more than circumstances dictate that we are. We are so much more. And we think about what we need or what's missing that brings us into that place of fear. That's where fear comes from. Something is lacking, something is missing in our lives. Instead of focusing on the possibilities in each situation, our focus, like Dorothy's, turns to lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So we get into that place of fear, which is not a place we want to hang out in, for sure. So this morning, let's look at two great spiritual teachers, the Scarecrow and the Tinman, and how they taught us that we already have all that we could ever desire within us. So, the Scarecrow says, if I only had a brain, I'd know what to do. He thinks he doesn't know. But for someone who insists he doesn't have a brain, the Scarecrow has given a lot of thought to what he would think if he had a brain. If you recall, he sang, I think of things I never thought before, and then I'll sit and think some more. And so he wants to have a brain. And that's when he asks Dorothy if he can accompany her to the Emerald City to ask the wizard for some brains. And Dorothy warns him against it. I have a mad witch after me, and you might get in trouble, she says. And the lion says, or the Scarecrow, we're not up to the lion. The Scarecrow says, witch, humph! I'm not afraid of any old witch. I'm not afraid of anything, except a lighted match. And then I'd get a whole box of them for the chance to have some brains. As Dorothy and her companions nervously follow the yellow brick road through that, remember this dark and creepy forest. We're going to show this movie on Zoom at the end of the month. Yeah. So they're going through that creepy forest. The Scarecrow says, of course I don't know, but I think it will actually get darker before it gets lighter. The Scarecrow is actually offering a keen philosophical insight, because it truly does seem that it gets dark before it gets lighter. Or as the Tao Te Ching sums it up, the path into light seems dark. Ever notice when you're going through something so heavy, so feeling that darkness, that eventually the light comes through even brighter than before? How could a brainless scarecrow say something so insightful? Nature's intelligence flows freely and effortlessly when you are in harmony with the divine nature of the allness of that perfect energy. That is all there is, truly all there is. We are in this flow of divine intelligence from the cosmos, as the cosmos. It's not even from, it's as, because we are all a part of that. And you can harness the pure potential of the universe into your life, because it is your life, when you wake up and realize it. How could a brainless scarecrow say something so insightful? And then, if you have been stuck on a pole in the middle of a cornfield with crows pecking at you, let it go. Free that energy. Rechannel it. Allow it to manifest in a more meaningful way. To acquire anything that you desire, release the "if I only had" attitude. That's an attitude. If I only had attitude. We want to get rid of that. And how? Simply keep your attention on the here and now. In this moment, all is provided. In this moment, I am everything that the divine energy is. In this moment, that's where we pull ourselves back. Everything you wish will spontaneously flow from the universe itself. It's true, it really is true that the universe always has our back. It's always supporting us, urging us forward, loving us unconditionally. When the scarecrow craves intelligence, which he assumes he doesn't have, it escapes him. But when he let go of his preoccupation with obtaining a brain, he becomes a quick-thinking problem solver. When Dorothy can't figure out how to get him down from the pole, he spontaneously proposed, why don't you bend the nail down and maybe he'll slip up? Which we see he does. When the talking apple trees, remember them? And they go through the forest and the apple trees are all there. Dorothy wants an apple, they're getting hungry. The scarecrow intuitively uses reverse psychology and starts provoking the trees, so they throw their apples at him. There they are. This is when the doorman at Emerald City asked Dorothy to prove that the Good Witch of the North sent her to see the wizard. The Scarecrow said, he quickly pointed to her feet and said, "These are the ruby slippers given to her by the Good Witch." Instant after instant, the Scarecrow uses innate intelligence that he doesn't think he has. He's constantly using it. The Scarecrow is an exquisite example to anyone who feels intellectually inadequate. Sometimes we hear this. Oh, as I get older, I'm losing my intelligence, or I can't think as well. Or we have all that we need when we claim that we need it, when we step into our greatness. You're smarter than you think, each and every one of us. When you trust the powers of your divine nature, you don't have any need to impress anyone, or act smart, or seek approval. Just let it be. Just let it be. Lao Tzu, 6th century BC philosopher, said, "When you look for it, there is nothing to see. When you listen for it, there's nothing to hear. But when you use it, it is inexhaustible." Ernest Holmes tells us, God is forever, this is on page 273, God is forever doing new things. And when we conceive new ideas, it is an act of the divine projecting itself into them. The Spirit did not have a lot of little flying machine models put away in a cosmic cupboard somewhere, he says. But the mind that conceived the possibility of the flying machine is God. There's one mind, God's mind. My mind now, I claim that and I use that. Ernest Holmes tells us that. The mind we use is the mind of the universe. This is God in and us as us. And only through this mind do we understand anything. This is still Holmes. St. Paul said, we have the mind of Christ, which means that each and every one of us has immediate access to the intelligence of the universe. We have to believe that. We have to believe that. How many times a day do we say to ourselves or out loud, I don't know? Now, sometimes saying I don't know is because you really don't know the answer to a question, but it's the I don't knows in life that we use. This is what I'm referring to. At the core of this message is the core belief that we are separate from God. Saying I don't know is a prayer. It is affirming that you don't know. Instead, you might ask, what would I do if I did know? We are standing in a vast sea of infinite wisdom. That's what we're in. A vast sea of infinite wisdom where anything, we can create anything we really desire if we believe that. The rational mind, however, wants to know it all. That's the way our minds are. And when it doesn't know it all, it says, I don't know. The intuitive mind is willing to say just what it does know. Our intuition never lies to us. It truly, more and more and more and more. Every moment, every day, I make my decisions from intuitive thinking. Not questioning it, just making them, because why not? It works better for me, and I know it does to each and every one of us. great illustration in a Herman comic a while ago. Two mice are looking at a piece of cheese in a mousetrap, and is strategically placed as the one whose hand goes in to reach the cheese. The other one says, "I don't know, I just have a funny feeling about this." That's our life. That cheese with the mousetrap, and if we don't listen to our intuition, we really are at a loss many times, because that intuitive self is our divinity giving us instructions. It is leading us. It is helping us make the decisions we need to make in life. We say "I don't know" all the time, but sometimes something inside of us does know. All the wisdom you need, all the answers you need, all the knowledge you need are already within you. Access it by knowing that you know. Ernest Holmes wrote this beautiful passage in the Science of Mind magazine a long time ago, but it's so beautiful. He wrote, "I know that today I walk in the full understanding of my oneness with God. God is at the center of my being, and from this center, I receive inspiration which governs my life, my every thought, every act, with certainty, love, and peace." So now we come to the Tinman. What does he want? He wants a heart, right? What do most of us want in life? To love and be loved. The challenge we have on our journey is thinking that something is missing. But like the Scarecrow showed us, we are really filled with love. I'll give you some examples. Remember when the wicked witch threatens to stuff a mattress with the Scarecrow and use the Tin Man for a beehive, unless the two stay away from Dorothy and stop helping her. And so she threw a ball of fire at the straw man, which is his biggest fear, but the Tin Man selflessly put that fire out. And who was it that saved the day? The Tin Man. He slammed his tin hat down on that fireball and extinguished it. Purely a selfless act. It was the Tin Man who insisted that he will get Dorothy to the wizard, whether he has a heart or not. That didn't mean anything at that point. That shows the Tin Man's altruism proved he already had a heart, an enormous heart. Without knowing it, the Tin Man touches nearly everyone he meets. An important point here. He couldn't activate innate love until he got some unconditional love from Dorothy in the form of, does anyone remember? An oil can. Remember that? If we are frozen in fear, we need to have a love pump primed. We need it primed by receiving some unconditional love so that the flow can really get it going. It's already present. Love is a life force that must continue to circulate to keep the energy coming to you. You must keep love in perpetual motion. And it is vitally important, however, that you make certain that the intention behind that love, behind that giving, is selfless. You cannot have an ulterior motive, not to true unconditional love, or use it to manipulate anyone. That's not conditional love. It has conditions on it. Your goal should always be to create happiness wherever you go, just for its own sake of happiness. The most precious gift you can ever give are spiritual gifts, and they're compassion, appreciation, love, attention, affection. These are the gifts that the Tin Man unwittingly, unconsciously, and instinctively gave to everyone he met. There's a direct correlation between the depth and sincerity of the love you have for others and what you get in return. Jesus said, sometimes you sow in one field and harvest in another. When we love our enemies, we don't always have our enemies love us back. But the pure act of loving is a circulation that we will get reciprocity. It comes back to us. It's automatic. It's the way the law works, the divine law. It is automatic. So, no one loves the wicked witch at all, not the one of the West, because she doesn't have a smidgen of love for anyone. Her motives are egotistical and selfish. The Wizard of Oz only loves so that he can stay in power. His love is conditional and insincere, and he is loved as long as he protects Emerald City from the wicked witch. Throughout the story, it is the Tin Man, the one who didn't think he had a heart, who loves unconditionally, always giving. The Tin Man shows us that if you want to be blessed with a heart, you must give from your own heart. How much you are loved by others is equal to how much you love. And to remember to always love ourselves first. To love, to respect, to appreciate who we are. When you give from the heart, empathetically, unconditionally, constantly, and without expecting anything in return, you receive happiness in abundance. It's the way it works. You receive happiness in abundance. The Tin Man is expressing perennial wisdom. It is in giving that we receive. When you put the goodness within you to work for another, when you decide to love for love's sake alone, not because the other is doing something worthy of your love, when you learn to give of yourself without expecting anything in return, then the universe pours its grace and blessings in and through and as you. It just constantly elevates your frequency, your vibration. Ernest Holmes, in Living the Science of Mind, he said, if our concept of love and our belief in this beneficent presence is greater than our fear of the opposite, then we shall win. Then we shall win. Where are you stuck in your life? Frozen in the yard like the Tin Man? Get loved first, self-love first, rather than wishing or experiencing things or people to be different from the way they are. Don't ever expect that. No. Simply look around and see how you could love better. In my last talk, I quoted Michael Mirdad from his book, The Seven Initiations of the Spiritual Path, where he wrote, "The gifts of awakening of the heart center are beyond measure. As Charles Dickens wrote, a loving heart is the truest form of wisdom. The opening of the heart center is synonymous with the quickening of your soul. It is not something that can be faked or contrived, nor is it fleeting or temporary. The love of an open heart is real, authentic, and powerful." And to bring that home, Ernest Holmes wrote, "The most valuable thing anyone can do is to be a little more certain each day that he is meeting life with a greater sense of love. Divine intelligence, infinite love. That's what the Scarecrow and the Tinman represent. Divine intelligence and infinite love. Two eternal qualities they were both looking for, but which they both already possessed." So think about yourself and what you think is missing in your life, because I basically guarantee it's already present within you. I want to end this talk with a poem by Russ Kuhn, and it beautifully encapsulates these ideas. "Here I am, saying, I am that I am. Therefore, I begin to realize I am centered in love. I am surrounded by beauty. I am filled with joy. I am tapping into infinite intelligence. I am unceasing energy that is atomic power." Yeah, like that one. "I am the wisdom of the universe, and therefore, I am of God. The key is, however, when will I fully accept the great I am? I am that I am. We are one with all that is. How about today, I ask my friend? How about today? How about taking a lesson from the Tinman and the Scarecrow and realizing that you already are what you are seeking? You already have it all.